Welcome back to another workshop build video. I have finished all 4 walls, and today I'm going to be installing the top plates and the trusses to get ready for installing the roof. So let me show you the walls real quick before we get started. This was the last wall that I was going to film but decided not to. But it is complete with this door on this side. So other than that, we've got this back wall has nothing but a wall. And the front has the double door, and then this side over here has the window. Alright, I've got my 2x4s lined up here, so let's hop up on the ladder and do some measurements and install the top plates. I've been helping a friend move, and she gave me one of her 8-foot ladders, which is going to come in very handy here. First of all, I've got this 10-foot 2x4 that will be used as a top plate. So I'm going to simply set this on top of the other here. And I'm going to use this to lock in the walls so it will overlap the corner down here. This wall over here was built separate from this one over here. And so what I'm going to do is pull this 10-foot 2x4 across here all the way to the end, flush, and what that's going to do is get these where these walls are separate, they're going to connect them here as one basically, and then on the end where it's 2 different walls coming together, it's going to overlap and get those screwed together as well. I cut a board that's 47.25 inches long, and that makes up the remainder of this top plate here. Just going to plop it against it and then screw that down just like the other one was. Just finished up the top plate. It's looking real nice. There were a couple of spots where it was a little bit high. Right there you can see was a little bit of an issue. It's not even 1/4 inch though. And also same deal over here. Just a little bit popped up on this left side. Not bad. Now it's time to get these trusses installed. First, what I'm going to do is take the tape measure and mark out every 2 foot on center. And then I'm going to be using Simpson H1 and H2.5 clips to get these installed. If you remember back whenever I built these trusses, I did not put the bird's mouth cut, and that's because with the H1 clip you don't have to make that cut. And I'm actually using the H1 on the outside and the H2.5 on the inside, so that will give us a little extra strength there so it won't come off. So this is an H1 clip and this is an H2.5 something. We'll deal with these here in a little while, but this one is what I'm going to install right now. So say this was the top plate. This piece would go here, and it's got 4 screws on the bottom, and then our truss will plop down in there and have the screws on the side to hold that up. So let's hop up the ladder and get these installed real quick. I have all of the H1 clips installed on this side, except for the far end down there. Now, I've done something that I don't think anyone is going to approve of, and it's this right here. I have bent basically this edge of an H1 clip around so that I'm able to put it on the end. And I'm sure it weakens the clip a little bit, but I did not design my gable in trusses, so I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll be able to put some supports in here to put the OSB on, or whatever I use. But anyway, now it does have all 4 of the screws, because there's one around on the bent angle here, but that's what I've done. So I'm sorry, code, for what I've done. There was a guy one time that commented on the tiny house build, and he said, "Code, where we're going, we don't need code." Back to the Future reference. I thought it was really funny. Okay, I have to get the other side done over here, and we will be ready to hoist up some trusses. I have a small 2x4 here that I'm going to be using as a block to hold this gable end truss into place so it doesn't come tumbling off the backside. So I'm just going to come about right here, I believe, and screw that in. Okay, I'm going to put one of those on both sides here. Okay, I've been kind of excited to see. My neighbors are out shooting guns, so don't worry about that. I've been kind of excited to see how these install, and I hope it goes smoothly. So, I believe I'm going to set up the ladder on this side. And it's easiest to turn these where the point is facing down. Hopefully I'll be able to walk this up the ladder by myself without any real issues. And supposedly I can let it slide down some and rest up here on its own. Something kind of like that. Now I'm going to swing this up. Luckily they're not very heavy. I'm seeing an issue. My blocks are way too small. Let's try this again. I put some much larger or taller blocks up here. All right, nice. I need to come back here and measure to make sure I can get them right in the middle. I'm going to set up a clamp for the time being while I'm moving around so it doesn't fall. I have the truss measured out and where I want it. So now I'm going to come back with some 1 1/4 inch screws and get these H1 clips screwed in here, and that will lock this truss into place. I installed the second truss as a test run before I show you how I did that, and it actually went fairly smoothly. My ladder is a little bit on the wobbly side, so it kind of freaked me out, but I managed. So let's work on the second one, and I'll show you how I got this one up here. I measured between the H1 clips for this truss and the previous truss, and I found the dimensions for this board here, which will connect the two together. So I'm just going to use some screws to get this board placed here in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up on this side next to the house. making sure that the piece for the next truss is facing away from the previous one because it's upside down. Now I'm just going to walk this up the ladder. Okay. I set the ladder here in the middle so that I can get directly up under the truss. And now I'm going to attempt to swing this over into place. It's a little awkward doing this with one person. There we go. Not too bad. Now I've got the tape measure to come out here on the outside and make sure that this is even on both sides of the building, which I can already tell you it's off here. I just realized a mistake that's going to be a little annoying to fix on this first one, but I'll have to come back and correct it later. I measured from, let's see if you can see that, from clip to clip, which was 22 3/4 inch. But if you look up here, I did not take into consideration the 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood. So my measurements are off on that middle board, and I gotta pull it down to correct that. I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot in this little build, and I'm sure it's not the only mistake I'm gonna make. Thank goodness for cordless saws, though. That's a much better fit. Definitely makes a difference for 1.5 inches off here. So now I'm going to line these up in the center as best I can and just screw them together like I did on the ground. Like that. This box of screws I just got is a different size head on it, and it seems to slip a little easier than the bigger ones. Nice. Okay. So several more of those to go. Have you ever noticed that I rarely do math on camera? Well, I counted the number of H-clips used and the number of trusses I made, and they don't match up. We only need 11 trusses for this building, and I made 12. So I'm thinking I can use that last one for the outside of a ladder on maybe the front of the building for that extra little roof extension there. So at least I'll have a use for it. Okay. So I'm going to get back up here and get the rest of these in, and I will show you the finished result. I managed to get all of the trusses installed. So now it's time to get those H2.5 clips installed. And those are going to go here on the inside of the trusses. So let's do that now. It's pretty simple to install these. It just plops up here against the truss. And then against this I'm having to use these 1 1/4 screws. So first I'm going down here in the top plate. The dogs haven't played all night and they're excited to be out of the house. I successfully got all those H2.5 clips installed along the trusses. I'm really excited to have the trusses installed. Now before I can do much more on the roof, I need to put some sheathing on the outside to make sure the building is nice and sturdy. I don't want to be up on the roof and having it wobble all over the place. So look forward to that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.